Welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and, well, that's pretty much it. So, let's go!
This is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we listen to all of their records and we rank them from worst to best. We also give our biggest banger from each of them. And but before we do all that, we actually get into our 6 Degrees with Tom DeLonge. I don't know if you got it, if you did this week, but I did one, and this is where we connect our boy Tom DeLonge from Blink-182 to the artist of the week. So while you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars and 5 stars only. All the social media is at Asinine Radio. My name is Tyler, and way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. And that's all I got for the boring intro. Let's just jump right into the episode. If you did not already know, we are doing Sugar Ray, and we're gonna rank all 7 of their records, like I said, from worst to best, and give our biggest banger from each. So, what do you got for number 7, Jeff? Go.
Oh, I guess we're just skipping over Tom DeLonge.
Oh, I'm
number
sorry.
7.
Fuck. No.
Well, you said you had one at least, so.
I did. I don't know why. I don't know how I fucked
No,
up.
we can just skip it. That's fine. I don't care.
No.
That's not a big deal.
So let's get right into our 6 Degrees of Tom DeLonge. Did you do anything?
Yes. We could do just like end the episode if you want to skip everything. Whatever you want to do. I don't know.
Okay. So what do you got?
Stan Frazier. Frazier. He was co-founder, drummer, Sugar Ray. He produced some tracks for Ashlee Simpson. Ashlee Simpson, as we know, was in a relationship with. I think she was married to Pete Wentz. Right, correct. So that's 2 degrees already, and then Pete Wentz, Fall Out Boy, that terrible fucking song they did with Mark. That's
a great song.
So dearly. I don't understand why. Maybe it's a ballad. That's fine. But yeah, they did that song with Mark. Mark played in a band with this guy Scott, and then Scott was in a band with Tom.
Called Blink?
Blink.
Yes.
Just Blink.
Old school. So my 6 Degrees of Tom DeLonge, we start with DJ Lethal, who performed on Sugar Ray's first record, Lemonade and Brownies. We go from DJ Lethal to Wes Borland, who played in From First to Last with Skrillex or Sonny Moore. Sonny Moore or Skrillex was on Korn record called The Path of Totality, and Korn did a song with Feldy off of their album The Nothing. So we go from Feldy to Blink to Tom. That's my 6 Degrees of Tom DeLonge.
Damn.
Boom.
Okay. Not bad.
So now we can get into the album rankings.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, correct.
All right. So like I said, Sugar Ray have 7 records. We're going to rank them worst to best and give our biggest banger from each of them if we even have one. So what is your number 7, Jeff? Go.
I also wrote down, I'm doing this thing now where a subcategory under my rankings, I say old rankings. If you've ever done the band before, I'll write down my old rankings and then I'll tab it over in the same line and then write down my new rankings as I go through to see what's changed, see what stayed the same, just for my own personal pleasure. The only album that stayed the same, this ranking, was my number 7. That is Sugar Ray. Their 4th from 2001.
I don't remember it being that low for you.
This was I hated this one when we did it the first time, and I hate it now. Honestly, it starts off pretty solid. Like 3 or 4 tracks in, they're pretty goddamn catchy. Like Answer the Phone, that's a fucking catchy song. When it's over,
a great song.
That's a fucking catchy song.
Oh, I love that song.
So like it starts off catchy, starts off smooth, and then it just kind of like turns into this horrible bad pop rock album. And I hate to smut talk the Sugar Rays, but fuck, man, you dropped the ball on this one. I have no bangers from this, and
Come on, no bangers. Are you fucking kidding?
No, I don't even play this when it's over.
What about Answer the Phone? That's a killer song too.
No, because Every Morning, Falls Apart, Someday, those are all better songs.
Dude, Falls Apart. That's a good one.
Falls apart. So good. Yeah, honestly, Sugar Ray, this is the only record I think is bad. Like bad.
Okay. All right. My number 7 is Music for Cougars, their 6th record from 2009. Really the last one that they did with, I believe, the kind of, classic lineup of the band. This one, it's just bad. It's forgettable. I have no banger. I have nothing to say about this. I literally remember nothing from this record.
Okay.
Like it's really, I got like 3 songs in and I'm like, how long have I been listening to this? Like it has to be almost done. And I'm 3 songs in. Like, what the fuck, man? It's there's nothing here for me. I don't, sorry to anybody who listens to this podcast from the band, Murphy, if you're listening, sorry.
He's the only one that we're like really worried about.
I know.
Please don't hate us.
But honestly, dude, Murphy is the best fucking part of this band.
Dude, I love him so much. He's so rad.
He's fucking awesome. But yeah, sorry, Murphy. But yeah, Music for Cougars, I just cannot. I can't get into it, man. I cannot do it. So, what do you got for number 6? Go.
Music for the Cougs. This one dropped 1 spot. So last time I had Little Yachty and then Music for Cougars. This time I have Sugar Ray, and then Music for Cougars. This one fell. I don't think this is a bad album. Like it's like the songs are bad. Like everything's bad about it. I just think it's really fucking repetitive. I think it's just plain old people pop rock. And then Love Is the Answer was the biggest banger for me. But it was a song given to Sugar Ray supposedly by Rivers from Weezer, and then Rivers like sings on it. But then like Weezer recorded a version for Raditude, which is fucking exponentially better because it has another guest on it, and she's like an Indian singer. And it's fucking fantastic. But I meant to text you this, but I forgot to. But I swear One Direction song's Best Night Ever, right? It was the best night ever. Like that part. I don't know
if I know that song.
The chorus fucking lifted the melody from Love Is the Answer. And we danced all night to the best song ever. I think that's how it goes.
I don't remember either song, honestly.
Yeah. I think Music for Cougars was just fucking plain old people. I think it was just something like, hey, let's just put something else out, whatever. Because the next one was for like 10 years.
I know it, but also it's like a completely different band. The only remaining members are Mark and Rodney. They're the only ones left by the time Little Yachty came out. But okay, so that's your number 6 is Music for Cougs.
Music for Cougs.
So my number 6 is In the Pursuit of Leisure, 5th record from 2003. There's really nothing that special about this one to me. They kind of just continued on with the pop rock style from Sugar Ray. There's nothing really as catchy from that because the single, really the only single that I like off of here, which is my banger, is Bartender. It's so easy. But it's really because there's like nostalgia attached to it because it's such a silly song and it's so much fun. But outside of that one song, I just kind of forgot that I was even listening to music. Oh, not listening to music, but I just kind of zoned out a bit. So I really don't have that much to say about this record. I think it's almost like the B-sides from Sugar Ray. That's how I feel about it.
And that's fair. That really is kind of like what it is.
Even though you said the B-sides are better than Sugar Ray. So that's fine.
Dude, Sugar Ray is fucking not good. It was just not good. I don't know why it's
wrong.
So
You're wrong, dude. You're wrong.
You're fooled. You're fooled because you got 4 tracks in. I said that. I said the first like 3 or 4 tracks are pretty fucking good.
And those 3 or 4 tracks are better than In the Pursuit of Leisure.
But you got fooled. You got fooled though.
I didn't get fooled.
After those 4 tracks, it becomes bad, like very bad. In the Pursuit of Leisure. Are you done with your thing?
I'm done. Yeah, continue.
My number 5 is In the Pursuit of Leisure. My number 5 is In the Pursuit of Leisure. I don't think this ever gets as bad. So like Sugar Ray, the highs are higher than Pursuit for sure, but the lows are so much lower than Pursuit of Leisure. This is filler. This is filler like Sugar Ray. The melodies here are catchy enough to get by, but not nearly close enough to compete with like the big dogs of fucking Sugar Ray. But like Murphy had a lot of really like great bass lines throughout this album. And I think we're going to gush over Murphy because we're BFFs with him, of course. But Can't Start has like this incredible swing to it, and it's like driven by his bass line, as does She's Different. Fucking fantastic songs. But I really like their cover of Joe Jackson. Is She Really Going Out With Him? And Joe Jackson's this guy that I've heard this song before, but I kind of like discovered him recently, and I've been looking for his first record because it's so fun. It's so poppy. It's so very much like that song, Is She Really Going Out With Him? Just fantastic guitar licks, fantastic bass lines, and it's a killer pop album.
What's cool about Sugar Ray as well, I mean, is that the covers that they do, they don't do them often, but when they do, they're kind of deeper cuts. They're never like the big hits. It's not like they're doing like a Ramones song or they're doing, I don't know, some other big pop hit from the 70s or 80s. They're really doing the deeper cuts.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot. That it just shows like their musicianship and
we'll talk about one of their covers later on. That's so good.
Well, we'll see. Debatable.
So good.
Debatable. But,
so many S's.
So In the Pursuit of Leisure is your number 5.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. My number 5 is Sugar Ray. Fourth album.
Good Lord.
2001.
I can't believe Lil Yachty is so high for us.
I know. It surprised me. Anyway, yeah, Sugar Ray. This album is pretty much all pop rock. There are some bangers, like the singles. I mean, the singles are great. Answer the Phone. I mean, it's such a playlistable song. It's the perfect like kind of like, I don't want to say pop punk, but kind of pop punk, and it has just that great melody. And I love the video. It's just like old tour footage from like the mid 90s when they were touring with Korn and Deftones and all these fucking nu metal bands. And then they throw out this pop rock song, pop punk song. And it's just so weird. It's just so fucking weird. But I don't know. I love that song. There is some filler on this album, which whatever. It's fine. The singles kind of make up for that. There's also this is the only time I ever noticed this, but there's actually some like pop country on one of the songs. I don't remember what song it is now, but one of the songs is kind of a pop country thing, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all because I don't like pop country.
They've done it before though. They did it better on 1459, the Ode to the Lonely Hearted.
Is it though?
That's definitely got that pop country swing to it for sure.
But not like I wish I remembered the song. I wish I wrote it down. But not like the song on this one. Because 1459 is something special. That record is something special. But I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, Sugar Ray is my number 5. So what do you got for your number 4?
Lil Yachty. Lil Yachty's my number 4. This one this one was my second to last time we did this. So this one jumped up 2 spots. Mm-hmm. There's another album that jumped up 2 spots also. But this one, Lil Yachty, I dug this. This was 10 years since their last output, and they take the name of something like thousands of Lils of the time. So it's kind of like, are you like making fun of like the little rappers out there, or are you trying to like just create this super cohesive yacht rock album that just like is written really really well? And so like I don't know which one it was, because there's like nothing written about this one. It's cheesy. This record is cheesy as fuck.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What the World Needs is Love is my favorite. Like part of its chorus interpolates Bob Marley's Buffalo Soldier. So I think that was fun. So a guy's comment on Discogs when I was looking at I was trying to figure out who played on this album, what was going on. So Discogs is like the way to go, because those people
trying to buy the vinyl
are hyper focused. I was looking to see if there was a vinyl and if it was cheap. Yes. But a guy's comment on Discogs put it best. He says, the absolute best summertime album ever recorded. Good times. The brewskis are on ice. The grill's fired up. Sugar Ray's pumping through the stereo. Hello Summer, my old friend. That's it. That's all you need to know about Lil Yachty.
I mean, even just Sugar Ray in general. Like this
Lil
is
Yachty,
a band.
Dude, Lil Yachty's
this
background
is a
music.
summer band.
Lil Yachty is good background music. Like no one,
true.
like
yeah.
you're not gonna play Lil Yachty and people are like, wait, hold on a second, who the fuck is this? Like they would with Floored, like Lemonade and Brownies, like 1459.
That's
not gonna happen
Now
with
I know
Lil
your
Yachty.
rankings.
I did that specifically, maybe.
I know you did. I know what you did. Anyway,
But
no,
yeah,
I
Lil
agree with
Yachty.
you. I agree with
love
you
it.
on Little Yachty.
That's good.
All right, so no banger then, right?
No, that wasn't the other one I said. The
Oh,
cheesy,
yeah, you did-
What the
you
World
did,
Needs is
yeah.
Love.
That's right. All right, so my number 4 is also Little Yachty. This was also at the bottom of my list the last time we did the rankings a couple of years ago, I think it was. And yeah, there was something about this one that was, it's just a happy record. It makes me feel good. I don't know why, but it does. And I agree with you that it's I don't want to, background music isn't the right word because that's like that's disrespectful, but it's something that you don't have to, I guess that is kind of background music, something that you don't have to pay attention to enjoy, which is kind of the definition of background music. But what?
Yeah,
Okay, anyway, it is background music. I have no banger off of this one, and I'm okay with that because I really did enjoy this listen through of this album. It has some like reggae inspired stuff, like you mentioned the Buffalo Soldier interpolation. I hear some Hawaiian stuff in there too. I wouldn't say like exotica, but Hawaiian is the closest thing I can kind of compare it to. There's even one song that has like a very kind of 80s new wave kind of feel to it, and it was good. Like I'm very critical of new wave music, but the way that they did it on this record was pretty solid. I mean, yeah, in the end, nothing really stands out, but I enjoyed it. I did enjoy this record, and I can't believe I did. And
I was very surprised.
Overall, Sugar Ray is like a great summertime band. No matter what record you're listening to, they're just a good summertime. They always make me think of summer. So, and I like that. So, what do you got for number 3?
Here's where things get wild. None of my top 3 are all changed. So number 3 is Lemonade and the Brownies, their first album, 95. So Lemonade and the Brownies. It's such an ugly title. Like everything about their first album is just it's ridiculous. It truly is ridiculous. It's
nothing makes sense about it. The cover,
dude, the cover art matches the name.
The naked woman.
Like no way. It's fucking bizarre.
Lemonade and Brownies. And how immature can you get? I love it. I fucking love it.
These guys got signed to a record deal by like essentially bluffing. They bluffed their way to like an album contract because they said they had all these fucking songs. They had like one song, and then they had to write everything from scratch. And like this entire album is so elementary. It's so basic. It's so high school. It's so like what we would do. But that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Like Floored basically did Lemonade and Brownies better, so that's why Lemonade and Brownies is here. But listening to this album is just as good because there's like an innocence to it. Mark is still trying to sing and just doesn't like realize that if he just stays in like the mid range, like they're fine.
Yeah.
And so he's still trying to sing. He can't hit like these higher ranges that well, like in the song "Hold Your Eyes." Like he's trying to like actually sing, and he's not a good singer by any means. But if he just stays in that range, man, if he stays in that range, it will dig in. And it's acceptable enough, and he's fun enough, and he's a great showman that they can pass as like a fucking almost A-list rock band. But obviously, Mean Machine. I mean, it's hard not to say Mean Machine's the best song. I will give a shout out to Big Black Woman, dude. That's a banger of a fucking song. That's so funny. Really like it was inspired because Mark was like hitting on, I guess, a transvestite at the time. And thought this girl was so hot, and they're like, no, dude, that's a guy. And even after like realizing he was still kind of like, I don't know, man, but like she's still pretty hot. So that's where Mean Black Woman came from. But dude, Mean Machine, it's gotta be the biggest banger. It's gotta be the biggest banger.
It's possible. It's possible. All right, my number 3 is 1459.
Oh,
their third record from 1999, and I mean, this album is. It's the perfect combination of like the new metal kind of punk stuff they were doing mixed with a lot of pop. Like they had found that kind of that perfect balance between what they were and what they were to become. And it's crazy, like, and especially after reading more about, you know, what the album title is, their 15 minutes of fame. Like, they didn't think that they would come out with another hit after Fly, and then they come out with an even bigger hit with Every Morning. I think it was a bigger hit than Fly, but I don't know, just the story behind this, and I mean, every song on here is a fucking absolute banger. I mean, I know I did say that, you know, they meshed some of the new metal in there, but they did it in a way that wasn't like overtly new metal, if that makes sense. Like, there were heavier moments, but it didn't have that new metal crunch, I guess you could say. This album's so good, so great. I mean, my banger off this one is probably one of my favorite Sugar Ray songs of all time, and it's Aim for Me. That song is just a really fun punk song. Also, you know, Falls Apart.
Don't believe in nothing.
Don't believe in nothing.
Dude, Mark is so good. God, the guy knows how to have fun. He knows how to fucking have fun.
But in Aim for Me, it's also the background vocals too. Like, everybody just kind of accents everything. Yeah, there's harms. Everything just meshes so well in that song. I fucking love it. Oh, and then Falls Apart. I mean, come on, dude. What a fucking single. I honestly, I do like Falls Apart more than Every Morning. I think Falls Apart is a better song. It's a better single, but Every Morning's still a banger.
Falls Apart's good. I like that run away. That chorus just hits so hard.
That was good. You sounded just like Mark.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's my number 3 is 1459. So what do you got for number 2?
1459.
Okay.
Third album, 99.
Hey,
this has been my favorite Sugar Ray album for so long. And I think a lot of this has to do with like new metal seasons upon us. And I've just been very into trying my best to get into a lot of the mediocre new metal bands. And so 1459, it's like when it's good, it's great. Glory, Aim for Me, those are fucking beyond bangers. This record is crazy fun. It's very lighthearted. It doesn't take itself seriously in any way at all. And that's what makes it like likable. That 1459 thing. Like, they were making fun of people who were like, oh yeah, dude, you guys had one big hit, like Fly, that's it. And they said, okay, well, our next album is going to be, we have 1 second until our 15 minutes of fame is up. And they enjoyed it and they loved it. And the songs are all over the place here. So it feels sort of like a comp at times because there's no like direction. And there's a couple songs here I think that are kind of like okay. So it brings it down like just a smidge. But I think, I don't know, I think, again, when this is good, I think it's great. I think some of their best songs, some of their best musicianship is on this album. But there's times where I'm just like, okay, I could have done without that song and that song and that song. And the sequencing, I think, was a little bit weird. So that's why it dropped to my number 2. I don't know, but even like 3 biggest singles, Falls Apart, Every Morning and Someday, fucking love every single one of those songs. Absolute bangers. But Glory's my favorite, dude. Glory's my favorite song. I love that. It's so like, hey, I like what Rage is doing. I like what Tom Morello is doing. How can we do that? But because we're not that great, let's just do it not as great as he can do it. So that's when you get the waka 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 wow.
It's so fucking good.
It's gonna see you when you're gone. Dude, Marcus, oh man, Marcus is so good. Love this
also
band.
I mean, come on, dude. The 1459 starts out with the song New Direction, and it's like this fucking pure metal song. You're like, what the fuck is this? Like, I think New Direction might be the heaviest song that they've done.
Yeah,
like, it's up there for their heaviest song they've ever done. And you're like, wow, dude, we're gonna get into something fucking really rad here. And then it drops into Every Morning, this acoustic almost ballad, you know, and you're like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. Like, I love how they fucked with people so much. Like, I love it. I fucking love it. And we talked about them doing covers on this episode and other episodes of the podcast, but their cover of Abracadabra, it's a silly song, but they did it so well. I just, and we've talked shit on the Steve Miller Band. I remember when we had Dane on the last time, all Dane was doing was talking shit on Abracadabra. And I think it was because of when we did this album with him. I don't remember if that's what brought it up, but
I do have 2 albums by Steve Miller Band on the vinyls.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. But they
all
are
you need.
they are kind of silly boy talk.
So I guess that leads to our. My number
your
two.
Number 2 is Lemonade and Brownies.
Is
so
Lemonade and Brownies. Yes, it is.
big fucking shocker there.
First album, 95.
Big
This is
shocker
this is
there.
just a solid new metal album. I really think it's a really good album. I know you were kind of saying like, well, they didn't really add anything to the new metal genre.
Yeah,
Which
not at all.
I get it, but it's still a really solid record. Yeah, they weren't the first to do it. They didn't do anything too different from what was out there already, but it's still really, really solid. I mean, Lemonade and Brownies is so cool. And whenever you talk to somebody about Sugar Ray and you say, oh yeah, dude, they're actually really good. They're like, no, they're not. What do we flying every morning? That shit's stupid. And it's like, have you ever listened to their first record? Have you ever listened to Floored outside of Fly? No, you haven't. Like they're a fucking metal band. It's fucking great. I love Lemonade and Brownies, and I got it on the vinyls. So there you go.
There you go.
And we did this episode on the podcast a couple years ago, and it was a lot of fun. And yeah, so it was cool. So my biggest banger, Big Black Woman, Mean Machine. I agree with you. Those 2 songs are the standouts. Just fucking great songs. Also, a huge shout out to the song, it's not a song, it's a skit, Drive By. There's something about it that I love so much. I think it's because it's so hyper specific to where we live, and just hearing somebody give off like a Del Taco order, I don't know why. I really liked it. It's like this weird connection I have with the band, even though I have no connection with the band.
And I think that's Murphy and Mark going back and forth, and they're going full send. Like they're fucking not holding back at all. Like it's full on.
So good.
And it's a skit. It's not just like a couple lines, and they stopped it. It's like a whole fucking thing. It's hilarious. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely is. I don't know, maybe just regional for us, like a Del Taco thing.
I think that's what it is. That's what it is.
So funny though.
So Lemonade and Brownies. If you want to know more about that album, go listen to that episode. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, our number 1, Floored.
Floored,
the
baby.
album of the week. The album of the week. So go listen to that episode. Tell all your friends, because we are the best podcast in the world. So that's it. That's all.
Steve Miller.